Hopefully by now you have recovered from the shock and distress of BTS receiving 0 nominations for a 2020 Grammy. As a Korean band whose songs are not in English, BTS has torn down barrier after barrier. They have won 4 Billboard Music Awards, appeared on the cover of Time magazine, had 3 #1 US albums within the space of 12 months, sold out Wembley Stadium, and addressed the UN. One ceiling BTS have yet to break through is the Grammys. If you are still experiencing symptoms of bewilderment and disillusionment, keep watching as we step through together the mind-boggling Grammy nomination process and come to terms with why BTS was not nominated for a 2020 Grammy. The Grammy Awards are presented annually by an American body called the Recording Academy to recognize achievements in the music industry. Grammys are considered as one of the 4 major annual American Entertainment Awards, along with the Academy Awards for Film, the Emmy Awards for TV, and the Tony Awards for Theatre. These awards are widely seen as the most prestigious in the world for 2 reasons. 1. The governing bodies are based in the US, which is seen as the biggest market and content provider in the world. 2. The winners are based on votes cast by peers eligible due to their experience and reputation in the industry. So it makes sense that one of Sugar's dreams is to win a Grammy.
So what's the next step for BTS?
Next step.
Yeah, the next step.
Next step.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe Grammy.
There you go.
And it was fair enough for ARMYs to be beaming with excitement when BTS was nominated for the 2019 Grammy for Best Recording Package Artwork for their album Love Yourself Tear. However, as this award does not relate directly to the music, it is considered a minor award and was excluded from the main televised ceremony. With the album Map of the Soul Persona released by BTS to commercial and critical success, ARMYs were hopeful for better luck for the 2020 Grammys. However, BTS was not nominated in any of the 84 categories. Let's get one thing straight. The Grammys are not an empirical study with the winners determined by scientific evidence. Like other major entertainment awards, the Grammys is a popularity contest coloured by the judgment and sentiment of its voting members.
You like me!
The Recording Academy receive over 20,000 entries for the Grammys each year. These entries are then screened by experts appointed by the Recording Academy to ensure they are in the correct genre category. Voting members determine the nominations by voting in a ballot. Special committees of voting members then make any final changes to the nominations to account for any strange anomalies. Finally, the voting members determine the Grammy Award winners by a final vote. As the voting members have the greatest influence over the Grammy nominations and winners, who are the voting members? Per Billboard, approximately 12,000 voting members vote each year. To be a voting member, you need to be a creator in the recording industry, whether that be a songwriter, singer, engineer, musician, or a producer. And you need to meet one of the following criteria. 1. You were nominated for a Grammy within the past 5 years. 2. You have 6 tracks available for purchase in the US, one of which was released in the past 5 years. This includes releasing tracks on a platform like iTunes. 3. You are mates with a current voting member. Your application is then reviewed along with your sales stats, press interviews, critical reviews, and 2 recommendations from music industry peers. Beyond the qualifying criteria, there is little demographic information on the voting members. For many years, the word on the street has been that voting members are generally older and more conservative than the bulk of the music consumer market of 13 to 35-year-olds. The choice of winners of the most coveted Grammy category, Album of the Year, tends to support this. For example, Frank Sinatra won 3 Album of the Year awards in the 1960s, with the Beatles only winning 1 Album of the Year award for Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. The Beach Boys, Bob Dylan, Dionne Warwick, Byrds, Mamas and the Papas, and any of the Motown artists don't make a single appearance in the 1960s nominations in this category. With all due respect to the legend, which is Frank Sinatra, Frank Sinatra is not an artist you would think of as representing the forefront of 1960s music. Similarly, for Eric Clapton's win in 1993, Tony Bennett in 1995, and Bob Dylan in 1998. Well, let's be real, this riff and any of Eric Clapton's riffs in the late 1960s and early 1970s deserve 10 Grammy Awards. Eric Clapton, Tony Bennett and Bob Dylan are legends in their own right and deserve Grammys for their best work, which was produced decades before they received their Album of the Year Grammys. At this rate, BTS will be awarded a Grammy for their 25th anniversary album. According to Rob Kenner, a past voting member who has been involved in the Grammy screening and voting process, the vast majority of the nominations are chosen by people who have little real expertise in a given field. While the Recording Academy kindly asks the voting members to vote only in the areas of their expertise, there is nothing to stop, say, a classical music expert from voting in the categories of Best Music Video, Best Pop Duo, Group Performance, or Best World Music Album. The categories BTS's work many music journalists believe should have been nominated for. Putting aside the dodgy selection process, does BTS deserve a Grammy? The overarching criterion of the Grammys is technical superiority without regard to chart performance. This is quite broad, which explains why you can have Alanis Morissette's Jagged Little Pill winning Best Album one year, Celine Dion's Falling Into You the next, followed by Bob Dylan's Time Out of Mind. My personal interpretation of technical superiority without regard to chart performance would be connection between each of the songs. The highest form of this would be the concept album. All of the songs on such an album are connected by a central theme. Examples include the Beatles' Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, Elton John's Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, and Stevie Wonder's Songs in the Key of Life. Producing a concept album requires a higher level of artistry than pulling together a bunch of appealing songs. BTS sought to achieve this in all of their albums, most skillfully executing this in The Most Beautiful Moment in Life, Wings, and Love Yourself. When it comes to producing a concept album which engagingly examines complex multi-layered issues via songs which captivate the ear, BTS ticks all the boxes. Other criteria I think should be included would be in terms of the quality of the lyrics and music arrangement. As I don't understand Korean and am not musically trained, I'll leave this to the songwriting experts. The criteria I use to value art differs to the Grammys. I follow the Russian novelist Leo Tolstoy's definition of art, which is that art should be comprehensible to the masses, and therefore chart performance and commercial success should be taken into account in measuring the effectiveness of art. BTS has inspired millions to think about complex questions via their songs and videos. Therefore, my guess is that Tolstoy would give BTS a 10 out of 10. On that note, do the Grammys even matter? Whilst the Grammys are seen as the world-leading music industry award, they are governed by an American body, and thus the vast majority of its voting members reflect an American musical perspective. How can the Grammys truly reflect what is best practice worldwide? And that's fine, we just need to see the Grammys for what it is, an American Music Industry Award, not the World Music Awards. We have those already and they've been defunct since 2014. As we have seen, many of the past Grammy-winning entries are widely seen as kind of odd and out of touch with the times. Beach Boys, Queen and Elton John have never won a Grammy. Being inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame 20 years after the artist's glory days does not count. That's basically the Recording Academy again saying we made a really dumb mistake and now we are correcting it. Don't get me wrong, I can't deny the perceived prestige of the Grammy. So it would be awesome if BTS were to win a Grammy. It would be cool to have on the Wikipedia page. But whilst the legitimacy of the Grammys is debatable, topping the biggest English-speaking album chart in the world 3 times in the space of 12 months with music recorded in Korean, Nothing can argue with that. If you would like to see more Asian pop culture explained by an Asian, make sure to subscribe to my channel. Until next time, take care.